Hey everyone, welcome to the Book Nook. Today we're going to talk about Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. I read this book for the Asian Readathon. It is a book about a Korean family, and it starts in the early 1900s and it follows the family all the way up until the 1980s. They start out in the small fishing village of Yeongdo in Korea. And then it goes through the years of when the war happened and just the love, the loss, successes, and the failures. It is a story of all the different generations of this family and even of the discrimination felt between the Koreans and the Japanese during these times. So it follows the story of Sunya, and what happens with her is she becomes pregnant with her wealthy lover's child that in her mind she imagined was going to marry her and all good things would happen. But as it turns out, he's already married and has 3 children of his own. So, this threatens to bring shame to her family. And her mother, they work in a boarding house and they, are just trying to get by. And then this happens, and a young minister comes to stay with them, and he has been ill throughout his life. He just feels blessed to be able to survive in these times, and he's had tuberculosis and he overcame it, but then he kind of falls back into being ill, and Sunya and her mother nurse him back to health, and he decides that he wants to marry Sunya and take care of her so that she doesn't have to take this shame for her family. And then it follows the story from there and the next generations of the children, and then this story is called Pachinko, so obviously that's in there as well. As you follow it, some of the family members end up working in the Pachinko business, which is a gambling establishment. I guess there's a lot of bad ideas tied to owning a gambling parlor, and so people don't always look the best at it, but monetarily it helps them to get out of poverty and brings the family wealth and such. So yeah, this story just it celebrates their triumphs and it mourns their losses and hardships, and it was such a great story. It was simple and well told in the format of the writing, and it just evoked a lot of emotions. You really saw the lives of these people and just what they went through, the feelings that they felt, just how life throws you some hard curveballs sometimes and what you do to overcome. Sometimes you just gotta keep on keeping on. I really like this book a lot. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have read it if it wasn't for the Asian Readathon, so I'm really glad I did. I usually stick more in horror, fantasy, and this was more of a little bit historical, but a fiction story, and it was just fan-freaking-tastic. And I think they made a movie out of this, or a show. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now. So they have made a show out of this. It's on Apple TV. It came out in March. They have 1 season currently. That might be interesting to watch. But yeah, I loved this book. I thought it was really fantastic. It's not something in my typical wheelhouse, and it was a very touching and emotional story. It's a larger book, but I read it in only a couple days because it just really gripped me. I gave this book 4 stars. The story was well composed, you cared about the characters, and you didn't confuse the characters. There was a lot of people in this book, but not an overwhelming amount. And it was just overall a really great story, really well told, and I'd be curious to see the show. And also, if you want any information on the Asian Readathon, I will put a link down below to the video that has all the info and all that good stuff as well. Thank you everyone so much for joining me in the Book Nook today. If you had fun hanging out, boop that like button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things as we explore the world of books together. So until next time, we'll see you later.